Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly listened to your heart? Not the noise around you, not the expectations from others, but that quiet voice inside of you. Life has a way of drowning out our true desires, making us feel lost in our own story. But what if I told you that in the silence, in the moments of stillness, lies the answer to the life you've always wanted? Stay with me, because this one shift could be the key to everything you've been searching for. We live in a world that never stops talking. Everywhere you look, there's noise, constant chatter, notifications buzzing, people telling you what you should do, who you should be, and how you should live. But when was the last time you stopped? When was the last time you let the world fade away and just listened? I'm not talking about listening to others, but to yourself, to that inner voice that often gets drowned out by the chaos around us. Today, I want to show you how powerful silence can be, how it can bring clarity and peace, and the answers to the deepest questions you've been asking. It might seem strange at first. How can silence do all of that? How can not speaking, not engaging in the noise, be the answer? Trust me, once you understand the power of silence, you'll never look at life the same way again. You'll realize that the answers, the opportunities, and the peace you've been searching for have always been right there, waiting for you to stop and listen. Let's be honest. Life can feel overwhelming. Most of us wake up to a barrage of notifications, emails, social media updates, and an endless to-do list waiting for us. From the moment we open our eyes, the noise begins. We rush through our days trying to keep up, trying to meet everyone's expectations, all while feeling like we're falling behind. Have you ever felt like that? Like you're in a race, but don't even know what you're chasing anymore? You're doing all the right things, working hard, staying busy, but somehow you still feel disconnected, like something important is missing. Maybe you've even started questioning yourself. Am I doing this right? Is this all there is? If you felt that way, you're not alone. We live in a world that encourages us to be loud, to always be doing, striving, and achieving. But in all that noise, we lose touch with something crucial: ourselves. We forget that the most important voice we need to listen to is our own. That quiet, often ignored voice inside of us, the one that knows what we truly want, what we truly need, and what matters to us. Now let's talk about silence. I don't just mean the absence of sound. I'm talking about intentional silence. Moments when you step back from the world, from the noise, and allow yourself to simply be. It's in those moments that we can reconnect with who we are, with what we want, and with the path we're meant to follow. Think about it. When you're constantly surrounded by noise, how can you hear yourself think? How can you make decisions that truly reflect your desires, your goals, and your dreams? Silence gives you the space to reflect, to process, and to understand. It's in the quiet moments that clarity emerges. When you allow yourself to be still, to embrace the quiet, something incredible happens. You start to hear that inner voice again, the one that tells you what's right for you, the one that whispers your deepest dreams and desires, the one that's been buried under the noise of the world for so long. Let me share with you how this can look in your own life. Picture a moment when someone said something hurtful to you, or when you faced a difficult situation at work. How did you respond? Most of us, when faced with conflict, react immediately. We defend ourselves, we argue, and we try to prove our point. But what if, instead of reacting, you chose silence? In that moment of silence, you give yourself space to think. You give yourself time to breathe and to consider the best way to respond. You're not reacting out of anger or frustration. You're responding with intention and clarity. That's the power of silence. Silence also helps in decision-making. We've all been in situations where we have to make a choice, sometimes a life-changing one. Maybe it's a career move, a relationship decision, or a financial choice. In those moments, the pressure can feel immense. But if you take time to sit in silence, to listen to your intuition, you'll find that the right answer becomes clear. I know this isn't easy. Silence can be uncomfortable. For many of us, sitting alone with our thoughts without the distractions of our phones or other people feels strange, maybe even a little scary. But here's the thing. It's in that discomfort that you find the greatest growth. Silence forces you to confront yourself. It asks you to look inward, to face your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities. But it also invites you to discover your strength, your courage, and your potential. When you allow yourself to sit in that stillness, you begin to see yourself for who you truly are, not who the world says you should be, but who you are at your core. And that's where the transformation happens. When you begin to listen to that inner voice, when you allow silence to guide you, you start to live life on your terms. You stop being controlled by the noise around you and start making decisions that are aligned with your values, your dreams, and your purpose. Now, I want to show you how you can bring this practice of silence into your everyday life. It's not about finding hours of solitude. Most of us don't have that luxury. But you can start small. Here are a few ways to incorporate silence into your routine. 1. Morning silence. Before you check your phone, before you dive into the day's tasks, take just 5 minutes for yourself. Sit in silence. Breathe. Let your mind settle. You'll be amazed at how much clearer and more focused you feel throughout the day. 2. Silent walks. Go for a walk without your headphones. Leave your phone at home. Just walk and be present. Notice the sounds of nature, the rhythm of your footsteps, the feeling of the air on your skin. Let the quiet clear your mind. 3. Pausing before you speak. The next time you're in a conversation, especially if it's a heated one, pause before you respond. Take a moment of silence to gather your thoughts. You'll find that your words carry more weight and your response is more thoughtful and intentional. 4. Reflection at the end of the day. Before you go to bed, spend a few moments in silence reflecting on your day. What went well? What could have gone better? What are you grateful for? This simple practice can help you process your emotions and set a positive tone for the next day. As you begin to embrace silence, you'll notice something shifting inside of you. It's not just about finding a moment of peace in a chaotic world. It's about reconnecting with yourself on a deeper level. Silence helps you discover who you are, beyond the roles you play, beyond the expectations placed on you. When you start listening to yourself, you'll realize that you've had the answers all along. The doubts, the fears, the uncertainty, they start to fade away as you trust yourself more and more. You'll begin to make decisions that feel right for you, not because someone else told you to, but because you've tapped into your wisdom. And here's the beautiful part. This inner transformation radiates outward. When you're centered, when you're grounded in your truth, the people around you will notice. You'll become a source of calm in their lives, someone they can turn to for support and guidance. Your silence will inspire others to find their own. Now, I know that some of you might be feeling resistance to this idea of silence. You might be thinking, but I have too much to do. I don't have time to sit in silence. Or maybe you're afraid of what you'll find when you stop and listen to yourself. I get it. Silence can feel intimidating. But I want to encourage you to push past that discomfort, because on the other side of that fear is freedom. When you embrace silence, you're permitting yourself to step out of the chaos and into a place of clarity and peace. Think about it this way. When you're constantly surrounded by noise, you're reacting to life. But when you create space for silence, you're responding. You're making choices from a place of wisdom and intention. And that's where the real power lies. So, let me ask you again. When was the last time you truly listened to your heart? Not the noise around you, not the expectations from others, but that quiet voice inside of you. If you haven't done that in a while, I invite you to start today. Take a few moments for yourself. Embrace the silence. Listen to what your heart is telling you. Because in that stillness, in that quiet space, you'll find the answers you've been searching for. You'll find the life you've always wanted. Remember, the power to change your life isn't out there somewhere, it's within you. And it starts with one simple, powerful shift: embracing the silence. Thank you for joining me today. If this message resonates with you, I encourage you to take that first step. Start small, find your quiet, and watch how it transforms your life. Stay connected to yourself, and you'll be amazed at what you discover. Embrace the silence, listen deeply, and let your life unfold in ways you never thought possible. You've got this.